Greetings, everyone. This is I'm Right.
I'm right.
And I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I am Anthony Cordova.
And I feel great.
Really?
Yes, we just returned from a vacation.
We did?
Yes.
Was I there?
Yes. You don't recall?
Vaguely. It was all a blur. It was so exciting. It was just one experience after another.
Not really. We've just relaxed. And we did it in a safe way.
Yeah, well, yes, both of us have had our COVID vaccine, so.
But we still wore masks in different places.
Not many.
Yes, we did. We didn't do it outside because, we were walking along.
We were mostly outside, but in the grocery store,
grocery store we did. And I would walk in and out of restaurants with it on.
Yes.
A few restaurants we went to.
Yes, me too.
So that was a great getaway.
It was.
And that brings us to this week's topic, which is what we're calling Reset Together.
Reset Together.
Yes. It's part of a segment that we call
Stand by Your Stance.
We chose this topic because that's exactly what our vacation did for us. It gave us a chance to relax, of course, but also recharge and reset.
Okay.
You agree?
Yes. Yes, I do. I do agree.
Okay.
I do. It actually gave us a lot of time to talk, about
Well, we talk a lot.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
But let's say talk without any types of interruptions. We didn't have anything else. Yeah, anything else. We didn't have anything else to do. And quite often, I know I do it. I create distractions because, there's always something to do. I'm one of those people, if I'm at home, I don't ever truly relax.
No, because you could be looking at me as you talk, and then all of a sudden your gaze goes somewhere else, and I follow your gaze, and it's usually to something that you think you need to repair or do something different with. So you always find something that will it adds to your to-do list.
Yes. So even though, we do talk to each other a lot, probably more than most couples talk to each other, but we talk to each other a lot. But when we go on vacation, it kind of really goes to another level, but a better level.
Yes.
Because we slow down and really take time to think and reset, and not just reset our energy levels, but reset what maybe we're going to do in our future, what we're looking for in our life.
Yes, I think we reset our priorities, actually.
Yeah.
So to give an example to the listeners, I, in the summer, because I teach, usually in the fall and the spring. In the summer, I don't normally teach college students. So in the past, it's been really hard for me. The last couple of years, it's been really hard for me to figure out what to do for income during those months. But this time, it was quite clear what I should do.
Okay.
And I don't like to, well, maybe I am a little bit superstitious. I don't like to jinx myself by telling people things before I do it.
Happen, yeah.
Yes. And I think a lot of times when one tells their plans, people, before it's fully formed, people have something to say about it, and it may or may not encourage or discourage you. So I'm telling the listeners enough to know that I am very clear on how to spend my summer now, but I don't want to give it away because it's not fully formed. And right now, I just need to think that through for myself.
Okay, well that's pretty good, but it's interesting. So when we talk about reset, I realized about my reset is that my reset didn't involve many things that almost didn't involve anything that I'm not already doing. So,
right.
So,
but you
that
seem
didn't
to have a new
change.
sense of
Yes,
urgency.
what changed, what the time off and reflection did was allow me to, just sit back and reflect and look at the situation I'm in now, the work situation and all that. And um instead of focusing on the negative of, me not liking my job, instead of focusing on that, I really did really focus and take a close look at to where Jill and I are at in our life right now. And a lot of it's due to me taking that job. you
Right.
know so I need to I kind of made peace with that, so it's easier for me to go back to work after the vacation. And so I'm good with that. So along with plans that Jill has for her future, our future, it all fits together. So it
It
was
does
good
all
for
fit
me.
together. Yes. And you and I often talk about improving our quality of life. Although we have a great life right now in general,
Yeah, it's pretty
we do
decent.
often talk about even on an everyday basis, we talk about improving our quality of life. And so this time a lot of our reflection was, well, how can we make our daily life seem more like we're relaxed and like we're on vacation, even though it's our daily life. We talked
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Did we have any ideas?
A few, but some things we have to put into place before we can make that happen. But it gets
Okay.
back to what I'm really talking about is that home, we were both ready to come back home. But home is also, I think, a state of mind as opposed to a physical place. Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree. Even this morning, I made a comment to you, and it was, I said, I'm really happy to be back home, and I'm happy that we're here, but I really want us to feel like we're on vacation every day in our home.
Yes, yes.
So that's
And
that's
we have
that's what
done
we're
in the
looking for.
yes, we have done in the past where there are a couple of rooms in our house that kind of have that vibe to
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
We just need to figure out how to make that just part of who we are and where we are every day,
No.
right? But I think with us being, our birthdays are a week apart. Of course, you're much older than I am,
You're
but
much younger than me.
but our birthdays are a week apart. The actual days.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why, but we tend to reset, recharge, have new plans at the same time. And
Oh, which
so,
is pretty good.
which is great because we're both understanding of the other one's plans.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you're part of a couple? What if you're in a relationship and that doesn't happen ever at the same time? What do you do?
And in most relationships, I think, well, I can't say most. I don't know that for sure. But in many relationships, a couple, let's say a couple that gets married young when they're, 18, 19, 20, 21.
People get married that young these days?
Yes, Jill, they still do that.
They do?
Yes, I spoke to someone the other day that did that. Anyway,
How old are they now?
old,
Oh, we'll
older,
see.
much
That's
older.
why.
They're,
I'm
they
just saying, like
mar-
couples now, they don't
No,
normally get
there's people
married
that
that
still get
young.
married young.
Okay.
You may not have met them, but I guarantee you they are there.
Well, no,
So
the ones I have met are older.
there are people that still get married at 18, 19, 20, 21.
Okay.
I promise you.
Okay.
I'll look up the stats on that.
Okay.
Let you know.
Maybe
But
we should do an
but
episode on that
anyway,
once you do.
but anyway, what I'm talking about is, people growing together, um, where you can have a couple that gets married young and they may grow together. But then the opposite may happen also because they haven't really figured out what it is they want to do in life. So they're still at that stage where they're trying to figure that out. So quite often, one person of the couple wants everything, wants their education, wants success, wants power, wants, everything. And the other person in that couple may be, well, I'm fine the way we are now, and we can stay this way for the rest of our lives. And they'll use, my parents did it. They just lived everyday lives and went to work, come home, and that's basically it. But the other person may want to go on to bigger and better things. So what should a person do
I
when they're
asked
in
you the
that
question.
situation?
Why are you turning this
what should
into
they
asking me?
when
I
they're in
asked
that
you the question
situation?
first. Well, I have been, even though I've been closer in age than you and I are, in the past, been in relationships. Even though I was the younger one in the couple, I was still the person that was ready for more. I was quite
go getter.
I've always been goal oriented, always. And I realized the person I'm with, one of two things would happen in those situations. Either they didn't like that I was so ambitious. Why do you have to be so ambitious? They would tell me or ask, right? Or they would want to ride my coattails.
Okay.
Like, yeah, you do that. And then you do this for me, and then this for me, and then this for me. So it was all about them rather, than them pursuing their own goals.
Okay.
I didn't like either situation.
You didn't like those situations?
No. So I felt that when I was ready to reset, when back then, reset to me just means, okay, I am now focused on this, or what was happening wasn't working. So now I'm doing this, right? Because many people in relationships, especially if they're not getting along so well, they'll go away on vacation just like you and I did. But you and I went on vacation because we needed a vacation, whereas I know many couples who will go on vacation thinking that if we just get away, just the two of us, we can reset our relationship.
Yeah.
But that never works.
Usually doesn't happen that way.
Yes.
Because
you're not going to fix whatever's wrong if you're at that point. Vacation. Yeah, in a week. In fact, you may find that you really don't like the person even more. Just like the episode we did where know who you're with. Yeah. On vacation.
Yeah, that's right. You sure do need to know. You do need to know. But let me, change gears a little bit. Not much, but I was using examples of, young couples. But then,
they don't have to be young.
Then, that's what I'm getting at. What about a couple that have been married for maybe 30 years? So they're 30 years into their marriage, and everything has gone okay. They raised their kids, sent them to college. Kids graduated from college. They're living their own lives now. The children are. But now that married couple with kids all out of the house, and we're getting into the empty nest syndrome. But I don't want to use empty nest syndrome. I want to look at it as, okay, one of the couple finally says to themselves, wow, I've raised my children. Everything is good. Our lives are good. We're financially okay. Now I want to do what I want to do, what I've always wanted to do. So maybe one person in that in that relationship studied theater, when they were in college, and now they want to pursue it again. But their partner says, that's stupid. Why would you do that now? That doesn't make any sense. You're 50 years old. Why are you going to try to go
you
into the
could be
theater
an
now?
actor or whatever in theater at 50 years old.
I understand that. A person can find community theater
sure.
and do that. But what do you do about that person that doesn't want to support you? Because everything was fine in their eyes up till that point.
In the person that's not supportive, it was fine in their eyes?
Yeah, everything was fine. You can go on through life.
I have met people like that. And you know what?
What?
The person that's now not supporting their partner was their partner supported them. The partner gave up all of those things, sacrificed all those things to help that person.
Yes, and take care of the family and household and all that.
Yes. So now it's your turn, partner that's not supportive. It's your turn. Your partner did it for you. But it's your turn.
What if they don't have the capability to do that?
You mean they're narcissistic?
Yeah, they're just not that type of person. Yeah, me. Why are you going to change it? Why?
Because you've been waiting for your chance to be you, too.
Oh, but they didn't know that. 30 years.
They
30
didn't know
years.
Or they ignored it?
No, they probably didn't know. 30 years went by.
Well, narcissistic but people will never know.
But the person that was loved theater and acting once, let's say that's the woman of the couple. Okay, it doesn't matter. Whether
doesn't matter which one
gay,
it is.
lesbian, straight couple, it doesn't matter. But one of the couple, the one that decide, hey, I'll put everything into raising my family. Okay, that's
and
it.
Probably and helping their partner.
That's right, and helping their partner and putting their dreams aside.
Well, if you can't get through to the narcissistic person, like, hey, I did this for you. I've done this for us. I've done all of this. And I'm not getting any younger. So I'm going to do this. So if that person doesn't support you,
I can see that.
I would say to that person, if you can't support me, get out.
Oh, no, chill. You're going to get rid of them that quick?
I would give them a chance. I would give them a chance. But if they really can't see, if it really bothers them that I am improving myself,
but what
they don't need to be in my life.
Narcissistic person said to the other one, hey, I did all this for you. I sacrificed all of this
Did they really?
For you. I put in all the hours, 12 hours a day
because
at my
they wanted
job.
To. They're narcissistic.
I did this so you can have a beautiful
Every
house.
Sentence started with
I did this for you. That's what they'll say. I did this for you.
Narcissistic people do it for themselves.
And now you're just going to waste your time away with this stupid theater?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
But you know what? Here, all of this gets back to getting to know the person you're going to have a long-term relationship with. Ask the right questions beforehand. So they know what's important to you. And, if you put your dreams on the back burner, they need to know that. A lot of people don't share that. They don't
share it, but a lot of times too, if you've been with someone for 30 years, chances are you've changed too. So what you might have tolerated 30 years ago may not be what you tolerate anymore.
Yeah, but maybe 30 years ago, going into theater wasn't that important to the person, but maybe it is now.
That's what I'm saying.
Go on, yeah.
Your priorities, as we age, in general, our priorities should change and do change.
Yeah. Me as example, when I was young, teenage young, when you're trying to decide what are you going to do with your life, I was a really good dancer back then. And I thought about, oh, wow, I thought about seriously, maybe I should become a dancer. But then the realist inside of me said, oh, no. Dancers are a dime a dozen. Dancers don't make any money, and very few make it. And then I thought that about everything that's artsy and creative, in that
Now look
realm.
at you.
Now look at me. But but that's my point. The creativity that was in me is still there, and it's like I can't act like it's not there anymore. But I'm old now. You know what I mean? Now I'm old. And now I'm old and I'm a starving artist. Exactly what I didn't want to become. Okay? Did not want to become a starving artist. But here I am, now I am. So but that's one thing. But then, I'm talking about couples really talking to each other before they really commit to figure out what's going on. And I remember I went on this blind date with this woman, and she was a nice woman. We later became friends, but she was a nice woman. But I told her what I was doing with my life at the time. I was very geared to making money and lots of it, right? And working for myself. Okay. But at the end of the date, she told me something. She says, Tony, you're really a nice guy, but you're way too ambitious for me. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, you talk about business, you talk about creating this, that, business creations. I don't need that in my life. I don't want that in my life. I want a man that's going to go to work and come home. That's it. Just a good man that goes to work and comes home. And I said, well, I'm a good man and I go to work and I come home. She says, no, you're too ambitious. You always are going to want more. You always are going to be wanting to do something else. Like, what's next? What's next? What's next? And it's just like if you look at entrepreneurs, once they succeed or not succeed at what they're trying to do, they're always saying, what's next?
But that's growth, isn't it?
Well, maybe.
Because what's next may not be something entirely different. It may be improving what you already have. So
Yes.
isn't that growth?
It can be. It can be. It can be several different things. It can be greed.
True.
It can just be greed.
True.
I need more. But many.
And she may have viewed that, the person you were just describing, she may have viewed that as you're too much of a workaholic and not enough time with family or her.
Yeah, perhaps. But that's not the word she used. She said you're too ambitious.
Some people equate the two, though, with ambitious means you're a workaholic to some people.
I had time to go on a date with her. Okay.
I'm not defending her for sure. And then, I'm just saying that there's people, yes, there are people who think like she does.
Yeah, but my point is, after that, we remained friends, until we lost touch with each other.
And when you were friends, did she ask, how's business going? What are you doing now? Things like that?
Not really.
Oh, so she didn't even want to know.
No. No, she had no interest in that.
Interesting.
If I told her, hey, I decided to take a job at the post office,
then that would have been okay.
That would, yeah, that would have made her happy. But if I said, hey, doesn't matter. I'm worked for myself my entire life, and that's what I do, and that's what I'm going to keep on doing. No good for her.
Well, it's a good thing that happened because we're together.
That's right.
Let's get to our second segment that we call
Give it a rest and a resolution.
Your conclusion resolution. Should couples hit that reset button every now and then?
Yes. And I actually do think, just like us, I think when you go on vacation, hopefully some of our listeners will start going on vacation again.
Safely.
And safely. I think that's something they should discuss. Have some alone time. Even if you go on vacation with family, find some alone time and really discuss what you may want for your future and see if you see eye to eye on those things. And if you don't see eye to eye on those things, figure out how to make some type of compromise where, you're both happy.
Yes, without giving up your identity.
I would hate for somebody to have to run because their partner wouldn't compromise.
That's right. And I agree with you that if you're in a relationship, you should hit that reset button with your partner every now and then. But I don't think you have to go away to do that. I don't think you have to go on vacation to do that. You can periodically take time to reflect on who you are at this moment or at that moment and what your relationships are. Whether it's professional or romantic.
Yeah.
Every now and then you should take inventory of your relationships.
I agree with you, but I don't think most couples are just going to do that when they're, just at home in their daily routine.
Not a daily routine, but it could be like New Year's Eve.
I'm saying within their lives and, just every day thinking about, hey, let's discuss, what we want to do with our future at the end of the month.
But I do believe
they may not do that.
But I believe there are certain dates in the calendar year, in which people naturally reflect, such as their birthday, New Year's Eve, things like that. People naturally reflect on things.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, even if it's those, even if that's all you can do that.
It can be a tricky thing. A lot of people don't want to change.
We're not discussing change. I was talking about reflection.
Reflection creates change.
Not always.
Well, what type of reflection are we talking about? I know we're getting short on time, but what kind of reflection are we talking about?
What our whole episode was about.
What kind of reflection?
I just said. Are you listening?
I'm listening to you, but one person wants to change.
Okay,
that's
so
not
discuss
so
it.
much reflection.
It starts with thought. Action starts with thought.
Anyway, Jill, we're running out of time. So.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
we're almost out.
segment that we call
I'm trying to help you.
Advice.
Yes. Have meaningful conversations with your partner on a regular basis so you don't have to run. We don't want you to run when you're 62 years old or 30 years old or 50 years old.
And when you have those conversations, actually listen to what the other person just said. Let's get to our fourth segment that we call
So, what do you think? What do you think?
Because I'm right.
Because I'm right.
The phone number is?
The phone number is 404-594-2247.
And we do want to hear from you.
Yes. I am really curious to see whether couples do that discussion on reflection.
Yes, I would like to hear that too. But let's wrap this up. You've been listening to I'm Right.
I'm Right.
I'm Jill Cox Cordova.
I'm Anthony Cordova.
Shout out to Gifford Ivan Cordova III for the music, Nick Zinke for the art, and to our listeners. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.